What's up, everybody? This is Hard-Headed episode 2. I'm your host, Jack Bustler. This is your host, Dylan Crush, Fetty and Spinny, as we said last episode. Before we get into it on this episode, we just wanted to briefly mention thanks to everyone that tuned in for episode 1. We definitely got more views, good outlook on the first episode, better than we anticipated. Do you have any comments about that, Spinny?
Yeah, just more thank yous from me. And as you noticed, we're actually together today. So I get to like punch him and stuff when he has horrible takes that he's going to have. It's going to be great.
I get to win these debates in person today. So
Cap.
Even better. Similar format, though. Still going to share my screen. So, yeah, we can give you some content to look at. So our first topic, obviously, we're going to just start with the Super Bowl. Spinny, any initial reactions to the Super Bowl? What do you think?
I love that it was a good game. This is the first Super Bowl in a while that I haven't had a real rooting interest in. So it was nice watching just for a good game. I think Aaron Donald was the MVP instead of Cooper Kupp, but other than that.
Well, we're going to get into debate about that in a bit here. Yeah, I thought it was a lot closer game than I anticipated. Like I said last week, I thought it was about to be 6 to 7 point spread. As we can tell, as we know, it was only 3-point spread and should have been a 4-point spread. Rams missed a extra point earlier in the game, obviously. So that kind of ruined people that threw money on the spread for the Rams with it being -4. So that's pretty tough there.
All those Ram bettors are tough with that kicker right now.
Yeah, they're not fans of Matt Gay. That is definitely for sure. Overall, though, I think it was a really good game. Like you said, I didn't really have a rooting interest. I was slightly cheering for the Rams, I guess, just because I picked them to win. But I was okay with the Bengals winning. If they ended up winning, that would have been fine with me. Fans of both teams and players on both teams. So yeah, I would have been fine with either team winning. But I guess we might as well just jump right into this MVP debate. I definitely got Cooper Kupp winning the MVP. That's 100% well deserved.
It is well deserved.
See the argument for Donald, but to me, Kupp was the best player on the field for the Rams all night. He finished with 8 catches, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns, including the game-winning touchdown, as we all know. Yeah, he put the team on his back. Definitely the offense, at least. Obviously, he had 4 catches, 30-some yards. He even had like a 7-yard rush, and then obviously the game-winning touchdown on that last drive. So to do all that on the last drive when the game's on the line after the terrific season he had too, that just shows the type of player that Cooper Kupp is going forward, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Cooper Kupp's a stud. Like, no debate that Cooper Kupp is a stud because he is. But Aaron Donald's impact on the game yesterday was very significant. He had 4 or 5 QB pressures. He had those 2 sacks. Bus is going to debate that 1 sack because he's a rat. He had 2 sacks. Get out of here.
He had 1 sack.
That's why. Explain.
So the second sack he got of the game was that push out of bounds. When he pushed Burrow out of bounds on the sideline, it was technically for a 1-yard loss, so therefore it counts as a sack. But that's not like your basic sack in my eyes. If he would have had 2 legit sacks, that would have been more impressive to me. He did have a lot of QB hurries and QB hits, though, so I will give him that. You can't debate that. Aaron Donald's obviously the best defensive player in football. There's no debate. Maybe TJ Watt probably had a better season this year, but I would still definitely say Aaron Donald's the best defensive player in the NFL. He might even retire now that he won the Super Bowl, which is crazy to think because he's clearly still on top of his game. And he could probably win another DPOY or 2 if he wanted to.
And yeah, he could. He honestly could. But here's my Aaron Donald argument also. The last time the Bengals scored was 10:55 left in the game. In the third quarter. In the third quarter. That's the last time.
That is true.
They didn't score for the last 25 minutes of the game.
Yeah, the defense came up with stop after stop after stop. Yeah, they came up with that fourth down stop at the end to end the game. I definitely thought Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty, he was about to get them in field goal range to force overtime.
I wanted that overtime so
Yeah, I wanted
bad.
OT. It was a great game. I just definitely OT would have made it one of the best games of all time, in my opinion. But we didn't get it. It was still a great game. Rams finished on top. I do want to quickly mention that Super Bowl halftime performance was top tier in my eyes. I don't necessarily know if it was the best all time that I'm seeing all over Twitter, but it's up there. It's up there. What do you think about Super?
I thought
halftime
it was
performance?
good. Yeah, I mean, like, it just has to be entertaining, and I thought it was really entertaining. Like I like the one song basically from each person thing. It kind of keeps it flowy and whatever. Thought it was a cool idea. Yeah, I mean, can't complain about it. We've had some real snoozers. So
Yeah.
I mean, when you get one that's at least halfway decent, then
There's
you're happy
definitely been
with
a
it.
number of halftime performances where I just quit watching.
Literally. Literally.
Maybe went to go get more food or whatever the case was. But yeah, that one I was engaged. I was watching. I definitely thought, in my opinion, Dr. Dre at the end was the best part. He sounded awesome. Obviously, he was working the beats the entire time too, up to that point. And Eminem's part was really good too. I think those were the best two parts of the halftime performance. But overall, everything was great. Game was great. Halftime performance was great. Probably ended the way that the vast majority of, not the vast majority, but the majority of America thought it would, with the Rams winning. But yeah, Joe's going to be back. Bengals are going to be back. They need some tune-ups, offensive line.
Draft some linemen, Cincinnati. Let's get it.
Yes, get some linemen, please. Joe Burrow's out here getting sacked the most times in NFL Super Bowl history. So
Was it 8 or 7?
he was at least tied with 7. The record is 7. I don't know. I can't remember if there was an 8 sack or not. But yeah, he at least tied the record for most times getting sacked in the Super Bowl, which, yeah, it's clear that they need some help on the line, need some more tune-ups on the defensive end. But as far as offensive weapons, they got their guys locked up with Mixon, Higgins, Chase. I don't even think they necessarily even need to bring Boyd back, but they definitely can. Great quality receiver. Definitely a good 3 receiver for sure.
Oh, yeah. Also, we found the final stat. It was 7 last night. So we had the tie for the Super Bowl record time sacks. But he was also sacked 8 times at Tennessee by Tennessee. So,
yeah.
Wow. Twice in the playoffs over 7 sacks.
Which is just insane to think about in the playoffs. Yeah, we knew this was going to happen. We knew Aaron Donald and Von Miller were going to feast on that battle line, and they did. They definitely did. That's why I thought the game was going to be a touchdown spread, possibly even larger because of that. But they kept it close. I think Cincy's defense actually really stepped up.
They played exceedingly well, especially in the first half. They really, yeah.
And their rush defense was killing it all night.
Yeah, that's how the Rams make their money. That's how they play the whole year. It starts with the run game, and then they run a lot of play action. And then in the fourth quarter, they let Stafford kind of get after it sometimes, but it's really a run-based team. And since he shut them down, like straight up.
Yeah, they finished, I don't have the stats on hand, but it was 20-some carries for only like 40 or 50 yards for the Rams, which, again, as Spinny just said, the Rams make their living off the run game and establishing play action and things like that. So to get bottled up like that by the Bengals D, which has not been good all season, or has been average at best, that was impressive to me and definitely kept them in the game.
Rams 23 carries for 43 yards.
Yes.
1.9 a carry.
1.9 a carry. That's got to be
wow.
That's honestly got to be one of the better rush defense performances in Super Bowl memory. I can't remember.
Yeah,
another one standing out to me like that. With, say it again. What was the carries?
We got. Sorry, I'm just gonna get it right here. 23 carries for 43 yards. So.
Yeah, that's insane for the Bengals to do that. That'd be insane for any team to do that. But yeah, do you have any closing reactions on the Super Bowl? Otherwise, we'll jump into our next topic.
No, other than I brought better Super Bowl food than Bus last night. That's for sure. Bus had to cook it during the first quarter of the game. Nice.
Yeah, I was slacking a little
Give
bit.
him crap, everybody. Thanks.
I was slacking a little bit, but I got my ham and cheese sliders out there, and they were delicious. And I must say, they might have been one of the only foods at the party that were completely gone at the end of the night. So
That's because people don't have taste. All right. So let's move on.
We're jumping on to the next topic here. We're going to talk a little bit about the NFL awards that were discussed Thursday, Friday.
Thursday.
And as we know by now, Aaron Rodgers won MVP. Offensive Player of the Year went to Cooper Kupp. Defensive Player of the Year went to TJ Watt. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Jamar Chase. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Micah Parsons. Comeback Player of the Year, Joe Burrow. And Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel, coach of the Tennessee Titans. Any of those award winners stand out to you as maybe not, like, shouldn't have won?
Yeah. I mean, I guess in my eyes, every award went to the person it should have, undebated, other than MVP. And I'm not saying the wrong person necessarily got the MVP. I see arguments both ways, but every other award I feel like is pretty much the guy that everyone thought it was going to be.
No, I completely agree. Now, Rodgers, he obviously had an MVP caliber season. I'm not discrediting him there in that regard, but Tom Brady should win MVP, as we all.
Whoa. I'm just gonna sit back and smile for this whole argument, just letting y'all know, because this is the best day of my life. So,
well, as I admitted last week, Tom Brady is the GOAT. I even went as far to say that he is the GOAT of GOATs. So it should be no surprise to you that I would say he's the MVP. He led the NFL in passing yards, pass touchdowns, completions this season, age 44. I know age doesn't factor into the MVP consideration, but I think it should maybe a little bit. I don't know. But I think Tom Brady had a slightly better year than Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers had less interceptions. That would be about the only thing. They had the same amount of wins, didn't they? They both went 13-4, right?
correct.
Yeah. So to have the same amount of wins, better stats in pretty much every category, just a few more interceptions.
10 more interceptions.
How many did he finish with?
14.
Okay, that is a lot of interceptions. That's probably the reason why he didn't end up winning, but still, though, I still would give it to Tom Brady over Aaron Rodgers. Every other award is definitely no debate in my eyes. Cooper Kupp, obvious Offensive Player of the Year, won the Triple Crown. He was unreal this year. Absolutely unreal. That was only the third or fourth Triple Crown winner for receiving in the NFL history. Jerry Rice did it once. I know Steve Smith did it. I
think Calvin Johnson did it too.
Did he?
Not 100 on that, but
Steve Smith and Jerry Rice definitely did. So he's only the third or fourth player in NFL history to do that. TJ Watt to play only 15 games and have 22 and a half sacks is just unheard of. Clear DPOY again. If any of you guys think that we're wrong with these takes here, go ahead, drop a comment on who you think should have won these awards. Definitely drop a comment on MVP, because that is definitely the most debatable award, in my opinion. The Rookie of the Years, definitely, I don't even think there's clearly no debate for those two.
I mean, I don't honestly think so. I don't know how there could be.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, clearly Jamar Chase. He broke Jefferson's record. Rep to Jefferson. He's our boy on the Vikes, but
tough.
Jamar Chase and Jefferson, LSU teammates. Obviously, they're the next guys in the NFL. They really are. And for Micah Parsons come in, he was terrific this year for the Cowboys. On draft day last year, I knew that was a great pick for them. I knew he was going to do this type of stuff. So it doesn't surprise me one bit that he stood out. Honestly, I think he might have even got some votes for DPOY. I'm not sure on that, but Micah Parsons.
Yeah, he did get some votes for DPOY.
I know some analysts, like just based on watching ESPN, things like that. I know some analysts had said that. So,
and I mean, the thing with Micah Parsons is he just did everything this year. I mean, you got to give him credit for that. Like, I think 98 tackles, almost 100 tackles.
Yeah.
He had over 10 sacks. this guy did literally everything.
Everything.
So I mean, that's
Tackles for loss, sacks, tackles in the open field, anything you want, pass coverage. He did it all. He literally did it all. He will be a DPOY in the future. He is going to win Defensive Player of the Year at some point in his career. I'm pretty confident in that. If he doesn't, I mean, I guess, but I think I'm pretty confident in saying that he will be a DPOY at some point in his career.
Also, one thing I also got to say is my other MVP case is Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow finished the year with 4,600 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 14 receptions. He had almost the same stats as Brady. He had more yards than Rodgers. He had three less touchdowns than Rodgers. He had a better completion percentage than Rodgers.
I mean, if we're looking at these stats here, we got Kirk Cousins more yards than Rodgers, only a couple less touchdowns, only a couple more picks.
But
statistically, Kirk Cousins not even that far off Aaron Rodgers.
My big Joe Burrow case is the fact that they were 2-14 last year without him, and he literally won the division in a division that every single person before the season would have picked the Bengals to finish fourth. Every single person. Steelers, Ravens, Browns.
I wouldn't.
Going into the season?
No, I'd put Browns last. I'm just also a Browns hater, though. So
everyone going in the season was high on the Browns. Browns roster is sick.
Browns are not good. They are a pathetic franchise. I'm sorry to say. Last year they choked. Like, they didn't finish with many wins. They definitely underplayed last season. Definitely underperformed this year. Cut a all-pro receiver. They didn't even try trading him. They just straight up cut OBJ. That just shows how pathetic that franchise is, in my opinion.
Okay. The Browns are awful. But no one thought that the Bengals were going to do what they did this year. No one thought that. 100%. No one thought they were winning the division. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So Burrow, amazing stats this year. Took a team from 2-14 to have them winning the division. And I obviously know that playoffs can't factor into it, but okay. So that's the deal. Joe Burrow also, I think, deserved MVP votes.
He didn't get any.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, I didn't actually look at the.
I did look at the votes, but I forgot, so I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna guess at the actual voting results, because when I was getting the notifications on my phone about who was winning, none of them surprised me really. Even Rodgers didn't surprise me. So
I mean, everyone said Rodgers was gonna win going in. So
I knew Rodgers was gonna win going in. I just, like I said, I'd probably give it to Tom Brady. I do like your argument for Joe Burrow being MVP,
and we're talking about
they got enough wins,
but we're also talking worst team around him also.
True,
for sure.
True.
So MVP, most valuable to your team.
Valuable to your team. You are right that last year without Joe Burrow they went 2-14. This year with Joe Burrow made the playoffs, and then obviously playoffs don't count for the MVP and other regular season awards, but still, he was magical all season.
He was.
The only reason they didn't win even more games during the season is just because of their defense and their O-line, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean they couldn't be consistent all the time because of that stuff. I mean they lost to the Jets, so that's nice. But yeah, so
Mike Vrabel, he's probably deserving a Coach of the Year. I think that would be another debatable one, just because they went 12-5, so not technically the best team, but I do like him winning it because of the fact that their best player, obviously Derrick Henry, went down and missed most of the season, and they still kept winning. So that just shows great leadership on his part, keeping the guys together, and he's deserving in my opinion. But I just wanted to make that point that is probably a debatable award there as well.
I suppose it is debatable given how Coach of the Year works. There was like 7 guys that got votes, but Vrabel lost his best player halfway through the season, has a B- to C+ quarterback in Ryan Tannehill. Julio missed multiple games. AJ Brown missed multiple games, and their defense their front seven's pretty decent, but their back end's rough.
Yeah. So
he took a team with
defense was good this year. Pass defense, weak, definitely weak.
He took a team with some serious flaws that relies a lot on Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry gets hurt, and they still get the 1 seed in the AFC in a conference with Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow and Josh Allen and all those good young quarterbacks. So you got to give Mike Vrabel some credit on that one. I think that's
100%.
a crazy.
Like I said, he's deserving. I would definitely give it to him. Yeah, but you can always make a debate for coach of the year just because there's always multiple teams that have good records and experience injuries and things like that. But I think the Titans stand out a little more injury wise. Derrick Henry losing him for the vast majority or at least half the season, and Julio barely played any games. AJ Brown missed numerous games. So yeah, your best 2 receivers not playing, your best player not playing, mediocre pass defense. Yeah, to be the 1 seed in that loaded AFC. Yeah, that's impressive. That just shows a lot about Vrabel's leadership.
One thing I will say, and I realize everyone's going to roast me because I said earlier that this award wasn't debatable, and then now I'm going to debate it. But but Rich Bisaccia, that guy got 4 or 5 votes, and he deserves those votes. To take everything that happened with the Raiders this year and playing in a division with the Chiefs and the Chargers in it, like he made the playoffs. He made the playoffs despite John Gruden and Henry Ruggs and everything else. I mean, nuts, all the horrible crap that happened down there. And he came in, led the team, and took the team to the playoffs. So you got to give him some credit too.
Yeah, he definitely did a great job. And I know guys like Will Compton, check out his podcast if you like Will Compton. He talks a lot about how he was his favorite coach. He just the way he works with players, just an extreme player coach guy. And the thing that stood out to him the most about him was the off the field. So like off the field, he makes it known that he cares about you as a person more than as the player. So once you're off the field, he's asking about your family, how you're doing, things like that. So definitely a great coach. Definitely deserved those votes. Surprised he didn't get to be the head coach of the Raiders next year, but obviously McDaniels, I mean, that's a good hire too, obviously. So do you have any closing comments on these awards? We'll jump to the next topic.
Nah, I think we're good.
All right.
Let's get it.
We're going to switch gears a little bit here and now talk about the NBA. Crazy week last week, obviously. Yes. I'm excited too here.
This trade deadline was nuts.
It was a nuts trade deadline. That's why the NBA is my favorite league, because of stuff like this, the offseason, trade deadlines. It's crazy.
A top 10 player got traded at the deadline.
Yeah, you don't see that often, if not ever. And moves like this happen in the NBA more than any other sport. Just shakes it up, keeps fans interested. So yeah, I love it. We're gonna talk about mainly the ones that stood out to us the most, and just more of the high end trades. We're not gonna talk about random deals
like the Bucks Serge Ibaka trade,
or like the Celtics trading Bol. Like we're not gonna talk about trades like that. So I guess the first one we'll talk about is Caris LeVert for Ricky Rubio and a protected first round pick. What's your initial reaction to that, Spinny?
My initial reaction is, why the heck did we not lead with James Harden and Ben Simmons? But but other than that, I think this
saving the best for last.
Okay. We're making you wait today. Give me the trade one more time.
Caris LeVert for Ricky Rubio and a protected first round pick.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically just a move because the Cavs have been doing well this season, and they're trying to make a little bit of a push for it. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good trade. The Pacers are tanking, obviously, given all the trades they've made, so they just get a first round pick out of it, and Ricky Rubio is out of the year. Yeah. So yeah, first round pick for Caris LeVert for them. That's probably worth it.
That's worth it. Good trade for both teams. I don't say clear winner here. It's pretty even in my eyes. Caris LeVert, I don't know if I would give up any more than just a first for him. I don't think he's worth 2 firsts or anything like that. Protected first, That's probably pretty fair in my eyes, given his value to teams and what he does on the court. But great deal for the Cavs too on their end. They get some more scoring, definitely in the backcourt. They can get the ball to Darius Garland. Obviously, he's having a great year and is an all-star. But get a little pressure off Darius Garland a little bit. Let Karis LeVert have the ball in his hands a little bit. I think that'll just be extremely beneficial to the Cavs. I think I got them as a top 5 seed in the East now. To have Jared Allen, they got defense, bigs, and solid guard play. So when you got stuff like that, you're going to be a quality team in the NBA. And I don't think they'll probably do anything in the playoffs, but regular season team, they're going to be, I got them top 5 team in the East.
And we got Jared Allen and Mobley and Garland for a long time. Yeah, that's a good way to have it. All right, what's next? Line me up.
This one just absolutely blows my mind. I don't even really want to talk about it because it's going to make me upset with the Blazers here. But Norman Powell and Robert Covington for Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, Keon Johnson, and a second-round pick. Okay, so a little background context here for those that do not know. They traded. They involved the first too, did they not? For Gary Trent.
Yeah.
So they traded Gary Trent in a first for Norman Powell literally in March. So not even a year ago. And they traded two future firsts for Robert Covington. And so now to trade those two players, and the only thing you're getting back is Bledsoe, Winslow, Keon Johnson in a second. Keon Johnson not even going to play. Seconds are worthless. Bledsoe's washed. Winslow's washed. So, yeah, you're literally getting nothing in return. Absolutely nothing. You lost Gary Trent, a bright young star. Obviously, he's been terrific this year for the Raptors. Definitely playing way better than people thought he would. He's putting up better numbers than Norman Powell. So, just L's all around for the Blazers here. I don't know how else to put it.
This is brutal.
And the only reason why this one makes me so upset is because I'm a Damian Lillard fan. I think he's extremely good. And to just do your franchise player like that, like they're like tanking because he's hurt, but what are they going to do when he comes back? He's still under contract, still on the roster, and now you've given him absolutely nothing to work with. Yeah, like I said, Eric Bledsoe is extremely washed. Like, what are they going to do with Eric Bledsoe?
I just don't get this trade, I guess. Like, why? You're not getting anything with any prospect of future benefit other than a second-round pick, which is there. So why not just keep Powell and Covington at this point? I don't. You really want to just try to lose, I guess? I guess that's the argument, to try to get a better pick, but damn, that's tough.
Yeah, I think, again, I don't know what it would have gotten better, but there had to be.
I would just rather have stood pat than do this trade.
Right.
So
I agree. I completely agree. But still, even if you're going to do the trade, there's no way there wasn't anything better they could have gotten, because that's just insane to me. Justice Winslow hasn't even played. He's missed over half of his career with injury.
Yeah.
And he's now like 25 years old. So player like that should be just entering their prime, but is barely even played. So he's not going to be a factor really, even though he has played well since he's gotten traded, I will admit, but he's not going to be like a winning factor, a winning difference.
Yeah.
And Eric Bledsoe
is washed.
Probably won't even be on the team next year, honestly.
Yeah, no,
so yeah, they got literally nothing out of this deal. Major L's for the Blazers to trade all those first and Gary Trent for Powell and Rocco, and then flip all that just into essentially Eric Bledsoe. That is just absolutely pathetic to me. And yeah, I don't know.
Do better, Portland.
Yeah, do better, Portland. At this point, you might as well just
trade Dame.
Get Dame off your team. Dame deserves way better than what you guys are giving him right now.
Yeah, it's BS, honestly.
Yeah, and you might as well just. Obviously, you can't trade him now. Deadline's passed, but at the end of the season, you might as well just trade him and go straight tank mode.
Yeah,
you guys you're going to be like a weird tweener team where you're like you're hovering around the 10th seed, so you're not like one of the worst, but you're like a end of the lottery, which like you're not really getting any of the high end.
It's purgatory in the NBA.
Yeah, purgatory in the NBA.
Yep.
Low end lottery. Blazers might be stuck there. If they don't get rid of Dame, they're going to be stuck there for a while.
Agreed. Next.
Another Blazers trade. This one a little better in my eyes. We got still, I would say now, but CJ McCollum, Larry Nance, Tony Snell for Josh Hart, Nikhil Alexander Walker, Thomas Sodoransky, and a first. Side note,
2
they
seconds.
turned around and 2 seconds too. Side note, they turned around and traded Nikhil Alexander and Satoransky the very next day. So yeah, they're not even on the team anymore. But Josh Hart, he played well in his first game of the Blazers. He dropped over 20 points. I know.
Nova Nation.
That's one of Spinny's boys.
He won Player of the Year. Let's get it.
Who do you think won this deal, Spinny?
What did the Blazers get for Walker? That's what I'm trying to. What did the Jazz? Did the Jazz give them a first?
Passed it. Right there, Jazz. Yeah. So the
What?
Leave that up. He was traded to the Jazz. So the Jazz got Juancho Hernangomez, Nikhil Alexander. The Blazers got Joe Ingles, Elijah Hughes, and the Spurs got Satoransky and second round pick. So they basically got for McCollum, Nance, and Snell, they basically got Hart, a first, couple seconds, Joe Ingles, and Elijah Hughes. Yeah,
it's an L.
That's an L.
That is a major L.
That's an L to me. They only got one first out of that deal, like we already said. Seconds are worthless in the NBA, but there have been some good second round picks. Nikola Jokic being the most noticeable, obviously.
But here's the thing. From the Blazers. Again, I get a first round pick out of this, and Josh Hart is an above average role player. Okay, so
and that's it.
That's all he's gonna be. Okay, so that means to a winning championship level team, he has some value. To the Blazers, he has no value at all. You don't want him on your team because he'll play you into purgatory where you don't want to be. Yeah. So again, they literally got one first round pick for McCollum, Nance, and Snell. Awful.
And Snell, I know he doesn't get like a ton of minutes, but he's always been a quality role player his whole career. He career percentage wise, I think he's hovering around 50-40.
Yeah.
So he comes in, knocks down. He's obviously known for his historic stat lines of literally zero everything, which is absolutely hilarious that he's done that like 3 times. And it's like it's only been done like 10 times in NBA history, and he's like 3 of them. Which
the 0-0-0-0, man.
0 in everything. No shot attempts, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks.
And one of them's like 28 minutes.
Like 20 plus minutes. 0 stats. So I don't know. He was in Russ Westbrook terminology. He was just running around out there. Pretty much is what he was doing.
Oh man.
But yeah, he's decent. Larry Nance obviously decent. But Column's obviously the best player in that deal by far.
I also don't really get the trade for the Pelicans unless if you're trying to get Zion back and then go Ingram, Zion, CJ, like that's pretty good, but like you're not winning a championship with that.
Right.
So like I don't get it either.
Big 3.
You can win games with it, but
all 3 capable 20 plus scorers. If they all play at the same time, they probably would all average over 20. But yeah, like Spinny said, they're not winning the NBA title with that roster. They definitely wouldn't even make the Western Conference Finals with that roster. So,
and I do get that there is something about winning games and staying relevant. I do understand that. It's just the way I see, especially the NBA, is you want to win championships. That's what it's about. It's about getting a top 5 player and winning a championship. So yes, I'm being a little overcritical of the Pelicans on this trade. Like it is a good trade for them, but at the same time, it always just dates back to me to, can I get a shot at getting one of those guys to win a championship? If Zion's healthy, he maybe can be a 1 on a championship team. He can be a 2 on a championship team for sure. So I'd rather trade CJ and try to get a shot at a draft pick that's a number 1 guy than get a star that might keep you relevant, but you're not going to win a championship on.
Yep.
That's me.
Good points. So yeah, good thoughts there. We'll jump to the next trade. Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Tristan Thompson for Sabonis, Aaron Holiday, and Justin Holiday and and Lamb. So Jeremy Lamb. In my eyes, this is a fair deal. I don't know why Kings fans are so like I was looking on Twitter and Kings fans were just absolutely livid. And I would assume that's probably just because Tyrese was a fan favorite in Sacramento. He was doing a lot in the community. Obviously a good, bright young player. So I'm sure that's just where it was stemming from.
And they traded the wrong guard.
They did probably trade the wrong guard, but they got a quality big man. That's what they need. They have no bigs. They got a really good big man, Sabonis. So to me, it just seemed like the Kings fans just completely forgot about how good Sabonis is. Like he is a really good big man in this league. He's averaging like I don't have it on top of my hand, but I know I mentioned it last week because I listed him as one of the snubs, and he was averaging like 19, 8, and 4 this year or something like that along those lines. So he can do a little of all. Spinny, what's the stat line?
19, 12, and 5 for Sabonis.
19, 12, and 5. Rebound machine, can score, shoot mid range. Capable 3-point shooter. Obviously doesn't look to do that, but yeah. Beast down low, mid range, snipe, rebound god, and then playmaker. 5 assisting games for a big man. That's really good.
Here's the thing again. I guess I like the trade. Honestly, both sides. I think it's a fair deal. If I'm the Kings, though, I would have tried to trade De'Aaron Fox instead of Tyrese Halliburton.
Interesting.
If I'm honest. Because, again, I'm trying to shoot long-term to win a championship. And Tyrese Halliburton is a 20 and 12 guy. 20 points, 12 assists. That's hard to find.
He's not a 20 and 12 guy.
20 and 10 guy, then.
10.
Okay.
I can give him 10. 12, that's a lot of assists a game. That's a lot of assists to get.
This man knows how to run the point and is a really good true point guard. I don't think there's many of them in the NBA. I think they are exceedingly valuable. Guys like Chris Paul, like they just generate wins on a team. So that's why a guy like Halliburton, I would value, especially given his age, a little more than De'Aaron Fox, who I'm probably overpaying for how many wins he generates.
To be fair, though, De'Aaron Fox, one of my guys, Kentucky boy, obviously represent. I do get your argument, but that is a little unfair argument to me to say that he doesn't generate wins because there's no one on that team. The Kings have a pathetic roster, pathetic coach.
Come on, don't be mean to Luke like that.
I did want to see them build around Tyrese and De'Aaron Fox. I think that's a great one too. And Tyrese definitely capable of playing shooting guard. Great shooter. And so I think that would have worked great. But they needed a big man. So I get the move. I don't really get the Davion Mitchell draft pick when you had those two guards already.
Davion Mitchell's good though.
He is really good. Great pick. They should have went big there to try to help their front court because they already had 2 stud guards. So, but again, they traded, got Sabonis, good big. Fair deal for both. I'm giving the Pacers the win in this deal, though. You agree?
Yes, especially for both these teams that are, I would say, rebuilding and looking forward to the future. The Pacers got the best future prospect for sure. The most star potential in this trade is Halliburton.
Yep. Halliburton has a higher ceiling than Sabonis. Sabonis will probably be hovering around these stat lines, I imagine, the rest of his career.
Sabonis is another player on a championship team on a roster that's like shooting for that and has stars on it. He is the guy you want on your team. But for the Kings, it's like, okay, Fox and Sabonis, that's the 10 seed in the West, the 8, 9, 10 in the West. Like, that's not where I want to sit.
Yeah.
Just me.
They still have both players under contract for a while.
Yeah.
So that is good. They definitely need to make some tune-ups this offseason in the draft and in free agency to help build or to help
some depth.
Yeah, to help give Fox and Sabonis some more help. Yeah, I'm giving the Pacers the dub on that trade.
Also, Buddy Hield is the second best player, the third best player in this trade.
Yeah.
So that's another.
They got the highest ceiling player, the third best player in the deal. So yeah, I'm giving the Pacers a dub on this trade for sure. Let's jump to the next one.
Huh? Are we to it now?
Not quite. We have one more trade we'll briefly
Yeah.
discuss because we do want
Let's
to
get it.
roast the Mavs here for a second, because Spinny and I are a little confused on this deal. We have Spencer Dinwiddie, Davis Bertans for Kristaps Porzingis and a second-round pick. To me, this deal it doesn't make sense for the Mavs at all. It makes sense for the Wizards because they needed a big. They get Kristaps. Beal's out for the season, obviously, but going forward, they have Beal and Kristaps. I know I get Kristaps gets hurt a lot, but he's still played over 30 games this year. He's probably missed about 10 or so. Yeah, I think that just doesn't make any sense to me Mavs wise because Mavs don't have any good bigs. Kristaps was their only good big. Now they're relying on Boban, Norman Powell, or not Norman Powell, Dwight Powell, and Maxi Kleber. Those are the three bigs now.
Yep.
So,
and here's the thing: Kristaps is averaging 19 and 8 on 45% shooting in 30 minutes a game. I wouldn't have traded that as the Mavs, as a team who's the 4 seed right now in the West.
4 or 5 seeds.
So you're trying to win, right? I guess if you're trying to win this year, I just don't see this trade. And then they did sign, was it Powell or Kleba that they signed?
Like an extension?
Yeah. Powell or Kleba got a 4-year, $55 million extension. I can't remember which one. Sorry.
Probably Powell, I think.
But one of them got an extension.
Yeah, I would say Powell.
So they think those guys can be the guy to do what Kristaps did, but
that's a pretty good deal for Powell in my opinion. That's only like 11 mil, 12 mil a year. So
yeah,
that's not outrageous.
It's a good deal. I just don't get this trade, and they didn't. Spencer Dinwiddie and Luka. That's awful. That's an awful combination.
In my opinion, they didn't. I mean, this should be everyone's opinion. They don't need a point guard. I don't know why they traded Spencer Dinwiddie. He's a pretty quality player, I would say.
Yeah, he's averaging 15.
Kristaps is a little better than Dinwiddie, but they don't need Dinwiddie at all. They got Luka, ball dominant player. Should definitely have the ball in his hands. Luka's like one of the best players in the world and super young. And then they have Brunson.
And they have Hardaway. Like those three guys.
3 guards already that are like pretty solid. I know Hardaway is hurt right now. I don't think he has a timetable yet for his return.
Bet.
But still, like I don't really get it. Clearly they have they're really high on Powell, Kleber, and Boban to get the job done this year at least. Maybe this offseason they'll look to tune up their front court, but they're clearly they clearly think Dinwiddie, Luka, and Brunson, like that's their trio to help them win the playoffs. I just don't see it.
I don't see it either. And I get wanting to trade Kristaps. I'm not against that in any way. I just wanted to get I feel like you kind of got way more value for Kristaps, but
I feel like they could get a first for Kristaps. I don't know if I'm wrong there, but and Dinwiddie is a quality player, so maybe
nothing against him
specifically in that deal to get a first. I don't know if you could get a first involved in that, but it's just the match here. It just doesn't make sense to me. If the Mavs were to make a trade, they should have got another big, in my opinion. But then they traded their only good big. So yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. But we'll see how it works out with both teams, I guess.
All right, so we're gonna move on to our next trade, but before I'm gonna add one that Bus doesn't even have on his list because the squad Boston got my guy Derek White from. It is not irrelevant. Derek White from the Spurs for Josh Richardson, Romeo Langford, and a first. So obviously, most people haven't watched Derek White. I think Derek White's a good point guard, a good player.
He says a first and a pick swap in 2028.
Yeah, you're right.
So 2 firsts.
This year's first for Boston doesn't mean anything. 2028 first, maybe it could be something. Anyways, I think Derek White is just a winning player. I love how he plays. I love watching him play. I wish he could shoot a little better, but everything else is wonderful. And I think he'll generate some wins for the Celtics over Dennis Schroeder. Okay, that's all I have to say about that one.
This trade is just an L for the Celtics, in my opinion. Richardson, I think, is quality, especially on defense. Better defender than Derek White. Derek White is definitely better on offense, no doubt about that. I guess you're pretty right with this first round pick is this year's pick is pretty relevant because it'll be towards the end, probably in the 20s. But still, though, there's plenty of guys that go late first that can make an immediate impact. I think.
True.
So I just think the Spurs slightly win this deal. And then in 2028 to have a first round pick swap too, who knows? That's 6 years from now. Who knows if the Celtics will even be good then? So they could really
Tatum and Brown will still be there, but
they could Tatum and Brown. We already had this. We had this debate off camera.
Yeah, we did.
Earlier this morning that 6 years from now, one of those two will for sure not be on the Celtics, which I'm 100% right with that. Drop a comment below if you think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown will both be on the Celtics 6 years from now.
They will. They both will for sure.
So yeah, I'm thinking some regression for the Celtics going forward. Obviously, a historic franchise, so they'll probably still be competing. But that 2028 first round pick swap could be possibly late lottery. So that Spurs get what they get there. Obviously, let's jump into
the big one.
The big one. Spinny, initial reaction to Harden for Simmons.
Holy beep was my initial reaction. I could not believe they traded James Harden in the middle of the season. I mean, I guess the conspiracy theorists out there win this one because everyone said no. The GM said no. Steve Nash said no. KD basically said no. Like, it was just, no, we're not trading James Harden. And then all of a sudden it came together, I guess. So this one was mind-blowing for me.
Huge trade. Like you said earlier in this episode, you don't see top 10 players get traded. That's something that very rarely happens in the NBA, but it's obviously a good shakeup for the league, in my opinion. I definitely like the fact that all these players are still in the East, and I feel like the Nets and Sixers were kind of rivals already to begin with, so I can't wait for I have the date on top of my head, but I know sometime in
March 10th.
March 10th, that's what it is.
Yep.
So I know on March 10th, you know where it is?
No, I don't.
They play each other, the Nets and Sixers. So I don't think KD definitely won't be back by then. But still, though, we'll get to see Simmons. He should be playing by then. Harden. So yeah, it's gonna be a great game. I'm looking forward to that.
Also, I just want to say anyone that's gonna put up an argument, because I know it'll be made that James Harden is not a top 10 player, get out of my mentions. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess drop a comment if you think he's not a top 10 player. But if you're gonna make that claim, I wanna see 10 players on a list.
Yeah, same. Give me 10 better than James.
Yeah. Go ahead, drop a comment down below if you think James Harden is not a top 10 player in the NBA. But if you do, I want 10 players with that comment. So let me see what you guys think about that. But Harden is clearly a top 10 player in that league, no doubt about it. Who do you think won this trade?
So we got 2 firsts from the Nets. Get 2 firsts: Drummond, Seth Curry, and Ben Simmons. I mean, obviously, I think the Sixers won the trade overall because you went from not having Ben Simmons, and they're a top 3 seed in the East right now. You went from not even having Ben Simmons, who's a worse player than James Harden, to James Harden. And you got to keep Maxey and Thibault still. So you go Harden, Maxey, Thibault, Harris, and Embiid. That's the most real championship shot the Sixers have had in a long time. Time. Because that's a real championship roster there. You have a shot. Now, James Harden usually chokes in the playoffs, so who knows? But I think they have a way better championship shot today than they did before this trade.
Agreed.
That's why I think they won.
I got into a debate with some of my my players at Bethany about this deal after it went down. Sixers won this deal in my eyes too, because like you said, Simmons wasn't gonna play. He made it clear that he wasn't playing for the Sixers ever again. So I know they had a high asking price for Simmons, and I know people are saying the Nets won this deal because the Sixers wanted all these first, but now had to give up first. But like we said with what trade was it? the Celtics trade, late first round picks, pretty irrelevant. 2022 first round pick is what the Nets are getting from the Sixers. Clearly, the Sixers one of the best teams in the NBA. That'll be a 25 to 30 pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's completely irrelevant. Obviously, could still land someone decent. Obviously, we'll see what happens, but that's pretty irrelevant. And 2027 is the next one. Obviously, that's 5 years from now. We'll see how they are by then.
That could be a good pick.
That could be a good pick. So that's good value. They get Simmons. I think it's a good deal for both. I'm just giving the Sixers the slight victory on this because
They got the best player.
They got the best player in the deal, and this makes them more championship ready than the Nets.
Yeah, because unless Kyrie gets vaccinated,
he's only playing half the games.
He's only playing half the games, and the Nets, and even Ben Simmons and KD and Curry and the rest of their team, they can win some games, but I don't think you're beating Milwaukee in a playoff series where Kyrie only plays half the games. I don't. That's
Philly.
My opinion.
I don't think they can beat the
or
Bucks.
Philly either. Yeah,
they can't beat the Bucks or the Sixers with this roster, in my opinion.
I think it's hard with Kyrie and impossible without him.
I agree. I would agree with that statement. Seth Curry, obviously a great shooter. See, this does obviously help the Nets. Drummond, they need a center.
Yes.
Curry, good shooter. Joe Harris, obviously out too, so that helps them there. They've got to keep Patty Mills, so they got Curry and Patty Mills shooting.
They got a lot of shooters now around.
And I think this will be an interesting fit for Simmons. I do think that I'm still like a Simmons hopeful. I wouldn't say I like him, but I hopeful in the fact that I still think he can be good. He's still only 24, 25 years old.
His defensive prowess is real.
He can guard any position, 1 through 5. And I think now on the Nets, this is a way better fit. Sixers, that doesn't make any sense because Embiid's down low the whole time. You need shooters around Simmons. He's kind of like LeBron in that fact. Obviously, LeBron's a way better shooter than Simmons, but he's like that in that regard because he needs to be driving or posting up. So you have KD now, you have Kyrie, all capable shooters. So in my eyes, they're going to be having Simmons down low, posting up where he's way better, or he's going to be able to get way more driving lanes. So yeah, I think this is a way better fit for Ben Simmons personally. And yeah, I guess I don't really have any other comments on this deal. I think the Sixers won. They got the best player.
But Brooklyn got good value given that James Harden obviously wasn't engaged. He obviously was not engaged by how he was playing basketball. You can tell he was not.
Let's sidetrack.
There.
Here. Who was the bigger diva, Kyrie or James Harden? What's your take on that, Spinny?
Man, this is tough.
What's your take? I have the easy answer. It's James Harden. Kyrie is really, I don't have any other way to describe him except goofy. He's just a weird dude. He's definitely a diva, no doubt about it. But he had already known before the season that Kyrie wasn't going to get vaccinated.
Did he?
Yes.
Okay.
Before the season, the Nets said that he wasn't even going to play. So the fact that he wasn't playing, you can't even necessarily, you can, I guess, blame it on him. But and we're not definitely going to get into this debate at all on this podcast. But
no, we're
Kyrie
not.
is allowed to not get vaccinated.
Yes, by NBA rules, even he is allowed to do that.
So to me, James Harden, how I see it is, they were the 1 or 2 seed in the East. I know it was early on in the season, but when KD went down, they were the 1 or 2 seed in the East. They had been playing well together, James Harden and KD, and their other players had been fine, blah, 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 decent team. I don't know if they would have won it all with only those 2 players, but yeah, Kyrie wasn't even playing. They start bringing him back part-time, and then that's when James Harden started getting issues. And in my eyes, it's just because he didn't have the ball as much anymore. And then KD got hurt, and then things started going back to the Nets. They lost 9 games in a row or something.
They're at 10 or 11 right now.
Yeah,
even
so
still
struggling. This has just been James Harden throughout his career. When the going gets tough, he wants out. And that's exactly what happened here. They were a good team. He wasn't complaining really much in the beginning of the year. KD gets hurt. They start losing. All of a sudden, he's crying about Kyrie not playing.
couple go at it from me. James Harden gets hard and quits is tough. He grinded in Houston. Grinded. Best player, ball in his hands every 5 seconds, did everything. Like, the last 2 years have been tough. And so I know I'm a little on the outside of the James Harden vibes right now, but remember, he did grind in Houston on some teams that were sketch. He also got into it with Chris Paul, so that was part of it. Okay, now, so that's one. Second thing is, what happened in Cleveland just tells me how the Nets locker room was. You can just picture it. Kyrie's sitting in the locker room, right, doing his weird Kyrie thing, and nothing against people that are goofy. I have friends that are a little out there, remind me of Kyrie, just a little kind of treats everything like it's no big deal, but cares about stuff. Kyrie, like, work in the community and giving and whatever he does so much stuff with that. So he's a little goofy, but I think you gotta let him be. James Harden is the guy that sits in the corner and thinks he's too good for the goofy guy and rolls his eyes at him and is just all like, that guy's so weird. The judgy guy. James Harden's the judgy guy. So when you put those two guys in a room in Cleveland and Kyrie starts lighting some sage up, doing
Brooklyn, you mean, not Cleveland.
Brooklyn, when they played Cleveland.
Right.
Kyrie starts, no, it was in Cleveland because Kyrie can only play road games. It was in Cleveland.
You're talking about a specific example.
Yes, I am. Yes. When Kyrie, when they played in Cleveland, Brooklyn played in Cleveland this year, Kyrie was in the locker room lighting up sage. This was I think Brian Windhorst article.
Okay.
But and James Harden was just like, they were like, James Harden kind of sat over in the corner and rolled his eyes at him. And I can just see it. Kyrie's just lighting his sage, just chilling, just back there, just like, trying to vibe before the game. Yeah. And James Harden's over there in the corner all serious. Just like, who is this guy? Like, just talking to his teammates. He's like, who is this guy? Like, what's he doing? And it just didn't work. I think they're both divas, I guess.
Oh, they're definitely both divas.
Bigger diva.
It's kind of hard to debate on who's the bigger diva.
I'm going to use my bias here. And just because I like goofy guy more than eye roll, think he's too cool guy, I'm going to say James Harden's the bigger diva.
So we agree.
Yep.
And to add to that point there, you get the eye roll guy, the goofy guy, and then you add in KD.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about anything.
KD just wants to win.
He just wants to win and get buckets.
Literally, he just wants to get buckets.
KD's just standing in the middle like, oh, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Here? So, yeah. Sorry we got off topic there. We did.
That was a good one, though.
I feel like we had to discuss who the bigger diva was.
And now we got Ben Simmons in the diva trade, too. We got Kyrie and Ben Simmons in the same room.
Ben Simmons in the same room. We also have Harden and Embiid in the same room. It'll be interesting to see how this all works out for these teams.
But I think Ben Simmons and Kyrie fit more because Ben Simmons is more vibey guy, doesn't want to be like pushed or like yelled at type of guy, gets a little, whatever. And I'm not going to comment on, his mental health stuff. That is true. And so I'm not like downplaying that or whatever. I'm just using an example. And so I think Kyrie, goofy guy, gets along with that guy way better than the James Harden type guy. So they might both be divas, but I think their personalities get along better. And then KD's the real alpha. And I think that all kind of fits a lot better than the James Harden fit.
Yeah, I agree. I guess that's all we got for NBA trades. We'll jump into our last topic here.
A segment,
which we're going to make some predictions for All-Star Weekend. Starts Friday, I think. It might even start Thursday, but it starts with Rising Stars. We're not going to make any predictions on that. We're just going to watch and enjoy, but we will predict who we think is going to win skills challenge, 3-point, dunk, and the All-Star game itself.
And these are all on Saturday.
Yep. Then the game is on Sunday. The All-Star game Sunday. All the challenges or whatever are on Saturday.
Yep.
So first one we got here, skills challenge this year. It's a new format. 3 teams of 3. I don't really understand why these were the teams chosen. Obviously, I get Antetokounmpo's all brothers. But I don't get like why the Cavs team was just randomly selected.
Because it's
and
in
then-
Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Good point. Good point. That definitely okay. Now it makes more sense to me because at first I was looking at this list and I was like, why? And then, but rooks though, I guess I don't really get that why it's just rookies, but
Yeah.
I guess that's pretty cool. Who do you think's gonna win, Spinny?
Rooks. I'm taking Rooks. Giddy,
Really?
Giddy, Cade, and Scotty. I think they got it. Honestly, Antetokounmpo's, nah, they're mid, and then two of the three of them are mid, and Cavs could win, but I'm a little concerned about Jared Allen's dribbling ability. But so I think we're gonna go Rooks. We're going Rooks for sure. Yep.
This guy. Yet another L for Spinny on this podcast.
That's tough.
Go ahead and drop comments, by the way, for the All-Star Game weekend. Your predictions. Let us hear what you guys got to say about skills challenge, 3-point contest, dunk contest, and the game itself. Who do you guys think is going to win? And yeah, we want to see what you guys think as well.
And this is one I know we can roast Bus for his opinion on. So please roast him in the comments, and I'll roast him with you.
I think the Rooks is just the absolute worst pick you could have. That team's gonna get last. I promise you, they're gonna get last.
Get out of here.
Look at the recent winners of the skills challenge. They're usually bigs. So for the Cavs to have two skilled bigs plus Darius Garland, that's just the best team to me. I got the Cavs winning this. And I think. And why did you say the Antetokounmpo's team is mid?
Two of the three of the players on their team are mid.
They have maybe the best player in the world to carry them.
Yeah, but with how
And
the
plus,
skills challenge works, come on.
You got to remember, I mean, if they're in the league, they're still a top player.
Well,
in the
yeah,
world.
they're
gonna be
good.
Capable of passing through a little hole. They're going to be capable of dribbling.
But Cade, Scotty, and Giddy are the most talented combo. So
I know that it ends. The ending of the skills challenge is the first team to make half court shot. So be interesting to see. I mean, that's just a straight wild card there.
Yeah, that's
So
wild cards.
that is a tough way to finish. That could definitely that could help teams, I guess. I'd say the Rooks are more guard based.
Yep.
Half quarters are half quarters, though. I don't know. So,
Who's the best shooter?
Who's the best shooter on this list? Probably Garland, I would say.
Yeah.
Just looking at it, I'd say Garland's the best shooter. But yeah, I got the Cavs winning this. Two skilled big men, a point guard. Yeah, they're gonna get it done. Plus, it's in Cleveland. It's in the land. So yeah, they're gonna put on for the home crowd. They're gonna put on for the home crowd. Like I said, the Rooks is the absolute worst pick. I got them getting last in the skills challenge. I got the Antetokounmpo's getting second. But yeah, do you have any other comments? Because I know you're gonna get this one wrong.
Bus is gonna get roasted in the comments for this one. That's all I'm saying.
Drop comments, like we said. Drop comments on who you think is gonna win.
On to the next.
No way the Rooks won now. That's for sure. 3-point contest. Spinny.
Taking Cat. Straight up, Cat.
Really?
Done. It's done. Cat's winning for sure. That's it. Yeah. Bigs don't win this contest very much, but given that
has a big even been this con? I'm trying to remember the last time.
I mean,
There's definitely been bigs in contests, but I just can't remember the last time.
I mean, is Larry Bird a big?
No,
he's 6'9".
He's a 3 though.
Okay.
Position wise, I'm saying. Like,
okay.
Cat is a center.
True, Cat's a center, yeah. Who shoots 40% from the 3-point line?
Just absolutely ridiculous.
So, but also there's no like GOAT shooters in this right now. The only like good, really, really good shooter that scares me a lot is Trae Young. Like there's no Steph Curry, there's no Klay Thompson, there's no like 3-point contest gods like that in this. So I think it's a little more of a free for all this year. So that's why I'm sliding and taking my hometown boy, taking Cat.
I think that's a good pick. I definitely think he's a dark horse guy. I'm trying to think. I think I'm gonna go CJ McCollum. Pure shooter. I'm almost positive he's done the 3-point contest in the past. That usually helps players if they have prior experience. All 8 of these guys are good shooters, so don't get me wrong. Desmond Bane having a great year for the Grizzlies. Patty Mills, obviously a sniper, Kennard. Yeah, everyone on this list can shoot threes at a good clip. Um, yeah, I'm really excited to watch this 3-point contest. Like you said, there's no like 3-point contest gods like Steph Curry in it this year. So it's gonna be wide open. And this one was really tough for me to decide. I'm not even confident in my McCollum take at all whatsoever, because this, like it's being said, is just straight wide open to me.
I don't think I'm confident in my cat take either, but we're full sending it. All right. Let's get it.
Okay, dunk contest. We got, in my eyes, maybe on paper, potentially the worst dunk contest we're about to watch. Like I said, on paper, we'll see what these guys can do. We got Obi Toppin, Jalen Green, Cole Anthony, and Juan Toscano Anderson. Spinny, who's winning the dunk contest?
This is tough. I don't watch a lot of these guys, obviously. So, but we're just gonna take my guy. We're gonna take my fantasy team guy, and that's Cole Anthony. I think he's gonna show out, get some cool stuff going, and yeah, Cole Anthony for the W.
Yet another L for Spinny on this podcast. I'm not saying I'm gonna pick the right guy, but there's zero chance Cole Anthony wins this. He is not a high flyer. Obviously can dunk, and I'm sure he can have some pretty cool dunks. There's no way he wins it. I'm gonna go with the dark horse. I think in this contest, Juan Toscano. I think he's gonna get it done.
All right.
I think the clear favorite though is Obi Toppin, right?
Yeah, probably.
He's done it. He did it last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he's got experience.
He's got the hops.
I know in your guys' comments that you're gonna drop below that the vast majority of you guys will probably pick Obi Toppin, but Spin and I, we're just gonna go with some dark horses here, I think, in this contest.
Also, we're gonna make a bet. So if Juan wins, Bus gets $10. If Cole wins, I get $10. Otherwise, it's a wash. You see it. You saw it here first, right now.
Fine.
Bus is taking.
Cole is not winning. That is fact. If you agree with me there, definitely drop a comment saying Spinny is completely wrong on his dunk contest take.
Tough. All right.
Anything else you want to say about dunk contest?
No, sir.
Okay. Last segment here, just the game itself. What do you think about the draft? Was just
the draft was
amazing.
Awesome. It was so funny. LeBron cracking up during the draft, not being able to handle it was awesome to see. I love that crap.
In my opinion, was the best. What am I trying to say? Comedy wise, like entertainment wise.
Yeah.
Entertainment wise, this was the best All-Star draft, no doubt.
And Chuck just amping it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was funny.
Absolutely hilarious. KD was not having it clearly, so not funny, not a good time for KD. But if you watched it, you know exactly what we're talking about. He was just getting crap the entire night about James Harden and the deal, and it was absolutely hilarious. LeBron was losing his mind. The TNT crew, they were losing their minds. Chuck and Kenny were just ripping KD. It was absolutely hilarious. I did think it was funny that KD took Joel Embiid with the second pick. Harden's new teammate, obviously. But yeah, the funniest part of the draft was the back and forth with LeBron and KD. Just KD absolutely refusing to pick Harden. LeBron, I feel like, could have picked Harden numerous times. I feel like he probably thought about it, but he knew that this was going to happen, so he just wanted to like.
LeBron was in it. LeBron was definitely in it for the laughs he was going to get leaving James Harden there the whole time. He was just seeing. He's like, is KD going to pick him? Like, we just want to do it for TV.
KD at the end, he definitely got into it for TV too. He like at the end was like when
he laughed it up a little bit. He smiled a little bit.
Rudy Gobert and Harden were on the board, and he's like, I think I actually need some more height here, so I'm gonna pick Rudy Gobert.
I need some height.
And Chuck was like, I absolutely agree. Yeah, so it was a great All-Star draft. I'm really glad they filmed these things and put them on TV. It's really fun to tune in for that.
Yeah.
30 minutes, hour,
Agreed.
whatever it is.
Here's
Based
the
on
thing.
paper, I got Team LeBron winning.
Yeah, I hate to be the agree every time guy, but LeBron's team's better. So stuff.
LeBron seems better. I will say I kind of like Durant's bench better. I got slight
LeBron
edge.
has no bigs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. LeBron has 0 bigs on his bench, and Durant's got Cat, Draymond. Well, Draymond's not playing, but he's got Cat and Rudy. So he's gonna get that's gonna help them a little bit, I think. But I'm just literally giving it to LeBron because they got the best All-Star game player on their team, Giannis. Giannis is gonna try way harder than any player.
So who's winning MVP then?
Giannis win MVP. He will win the newly instilled Kobe Bryant MVP trophy.
I'm taking DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan
MVP.
You get a high five for that one. That's my boy.
We're coming together. He's hyping up Tom Brady. I'm picking DeMar DeRozan. So coming together on this one.
Coming together. Look at us working together.
And we're actually together. So it's the coming together episode.
Coming together episode. DeMar DeRozan,
right.
second favorite player. Yeah, I think he could definitely show out. He's having a terrific year.
He's open.
Who would win MVP on Team Durant if they win it all?
I think it's Joel. Think it's Joel. Yeah, I think it's Joel.
I'm giving it to John Morant. If they win it all, I think John Morant's gonna be best player.
John Morant just decides to ball out.
Yeah,
maybe it's Andrew Wiggins.
I think Ja, because knowing All-Star game defense,
true.
The moment Ja gets downhill speed, they're just gonna move out of the way and let him dunk because they're not trying to get bodied. They not trying to play defense.
Maybe Andrew Wiggins, dark horse MVP.
Low key, because I know he's
hearing the hate. He's hearing it.
He's gonna try to ball out. Yeah. I guess I don't have any other comments on this game. It's gonna be a great game. I can't wait to watch it. I wish Durant was playing.
The NBA does the All-Star game pretty well. I mean, obviously, there's no defense, but it's still kind of fun.
It's still fun to watch.
It's still more fun. The Pro Bowl is way more fun than the Pro Bowl.
And the new format that they introduced a couple years ago.
Yes, I like it a lot.
Really good for the All-Star game. The target score at the end makes it way more competitive. The fourth quarter of these games is actually competitive.
Yeah, because you get the guys they're all competitive dudes. So when you make it a score, it gets them
they actually. The last 2 years, they've actually really tried in fourth quarter defense, everything. They're actually wanting to win the game, because it goes for their charity of their choice. So they're playing for something more than basketball, and they also get bonuses too.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so they're playing.
You get a little extra money if you win the All-Star game.
It's 100 or 200.
It's 100 and 200, I think. If you get 100 for losing and 200 for winning,
so you get an extra
like
100K. If you win the All-Star game. So that plays into it too, and then obviously the charity aspect. I think KD's got something Cleveland related. LeBron's got something I Promise related. One of his I Promise affiliations. So great causes there.
All right,
I'm looking forward to this All-Star weekend. Every aspect of it.
All right, let's get him out of here. We kept him on here too long today, I think. All right. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get some comment threads going. We'll comment back on you this time a little more, and we'll get some.
We're looking to engage. So
we'll get some engagement going
about any aspect of this episode. Any takes we had that you didn't agree with, whatever your own takes. Drop comments below.
We also suck, so we're a little behind on the social media. We do got an awesome guy that's gonna do some cool stuff for us that you'll get to see, but we got to get him our end and get it organized from our perspective before we can get that done. We're hoping to have it done by next episode. Also, on top of all the social medias and the logo, we also are going to start streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, stuff like that. So hopefully by the end of this week, those first 2 episodes, this one and the one before, will be up on Spotify platforms. We're gonna kind of really look into that this week. So
we should definitely have that done later this week, and we'll obviously post it on our own social medias when that does get done. And like Spinny said, our hard-headed social media pages should be coming out here within the next week or two as well, I would say. So yeah, be on the lookout for that stuff. Otherwise, just keep tuning in to our personal social media pages for these links. But that is it for episode 2. Thanks for watching yet
We're in the
again.
books, y'all.
We're in the books, episode 2. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week, Monday.
Oh, one more thing. I wanted to give one more shout out. Love to all the boys and girls and anyone that watched the podcast the first time and subscribed. We got a lot more love than we thought. So thanks to everyone.
Great tune out on the first episode. So, yep, much love to all you guys that tuned in. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.